Anyway. Oh, where's Justin? Not here. Oh, there he is.
Right here with Sub-Zero. He doesn't feel well today. He's the big. How old is he now? He'll be 10 months on. What is it? September. He'll be 10 months on September the 19th. So Sub-Zero update. He's just a young buck that doesn't feel too well today. Okay. All right. Good to see you, buddy. All right, Lily. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Let's go. Can't wait.
I get to finish fixing my hair. My daughter was helping since I don't want to color my hair, helping me out, get rid of those whites.
You were plucking your white hairs.
Yeah, because I like the dark hair. I regret coloring it blonde, and then I like the purple. That was cool.
I like your traditional Spanish, very dark brown.
I do like my hair, so I don't want to color it just to cover up grays.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nah.
All right, let's get this party started for sure. Let's go. All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. We are going to do a pre-US Open Sunday brunch. Let's say, hopefully everyone is enjoying their day. It's going to be a busy couple of weeks beginning next week for us. Well, it's kind of always busy, but next week shows every day except for potentially Wednesdays and Fridays, because those days we have clinics till pretty late at night, like 9, 10 o'clock.
I think Monday we will too. I'm still waiting on word. We filled that clinic up.
Yeah,
and that's like when Serena plays.
Yeah, I definitely look forward to that. Most of the shows for next week, by the way, will be done later in the evening, so more towards say 9, 10 o'clock at night Central Standard Time. So if you're in a different time zone, currently in our time zone it's 10:30 in the morning. Other time zones, so kind of factor that in. But our shows next week will be all pretty late, and then it's possible Wednesdays and Fridays we'll miss them all together. Hopefully not, but I think so, right? All right.
There's too much shadow here in our faces.
How do you fix that?
I don't know. Isn't there a light you didn't turn on or
That's
something?
the dog in front of you.
Isn't there a light in front of you?
Oh, yeah, on top.
Not on top. Right here. In front of you.
Quick. The dogs are all over everything. Okay.
There you go.
So, all right. So check this out. YTech Strings, by the way, shout out to you guys for sure. Also, the owner, Ivor Savage, he has sent a complete box with the Square X Sharp strings. It's an 18 gauge string. It's a really nice string. I used it yesterday, the day before, serving, playing, amazing. He's sending sets of that to give out randomly, and we will have a random give out today for one of those sets. But yeah, I played with it. It was amazing. My daughter played with it. A lot of people ask me, why would you want a thinner tennis string? Okay. There's pros and one big con. The pros outweigh the cons. So when you have a thin string like this 18 gauge YTech Square Sharp, the thinner the string is, you have more access to spin and more access to power. The only con is the durability drop. So durability meaning the length of time before it breaks. You know, how long will it hold up? I've played with it 2 days in a row, and I break strings quite often, and it's still holding strong. So you have to ask yourself, you know, if I'm going to play with an 18 gauge string that adds power, that adds spin, but decreases in durability, you have to ask yourself, is it affordable to do? We string, so we have a Pro Shop active stringers, and so it's no problem to string our rackets. But, you know, if you're a regular player and you're not breaking your 16L or 16 gauge strings a lot, which is the most common width, then try the 18 and see if it doesn't break on you, it's a win-win situation, right? Or if you have multiple rackets and it's not, you know, a big deal to go get your rackets restrung, then by all means go with the 18. It's a win-win. But if the durability is an issue, then, you know, that you might want to think about that. But again, we're big hitters and we've been playing with it and it's been just absolutely wonderful. But we're going to have sets going out today, so stay tuned if you want. And we're going to have a great U.S. Open, okay? All right, we're going to start today's show with this topic. This topic is creepy coaches, okay? Creepy coaches. So we have a lot of material today, a lot of fun topics, but creepy coaches comes from a video that I saw that was attached to an article. I'm going to show you that video. So I know that there's different norms wherever we go in life. I know, like in the Middle East, for example, you know, Afghanistan, wherever, respectively, that it's not abnormal for, say, men to hold hands walking down the street. It's totally normal. It's common, actually. But if you do that here, you know, someone might kind of look at you differently. So I understand that. I'm just laying the context of what we're going to talk about here for a minute. So yesterday, there was a young lady, and her name was, and I'm going to tell you, hold on. Okay. So her name was, she's a Czech player, and a lot of you have probably already seen this.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out my qualifier.
Okay. 16-year-old Czech player, Sarah Bodelek, made big strides in her career by reaching the 2022 U.S. Open main draw. In other words, she went all the way through qualies. And by the way, the author of this is Ayush Muhammadar, and this is off Sportskeeda. Anyway, it talks about how this young 16-year-old girl made it through qualifying and made the main draw, and she's really excited about it. However, after the match concluded, her coach and her gave, or was her dad? Either way.
That was her dad.
Her dad. Yeah. So, you know, she went over to kind of celebrate and, you know, gave her dad a hug or whatever. But this is how it looked to the masses. So I want to know what you guys think about this. And if it was your daughter or if it was your student, would you do the same thing? Okay. So let me show you the video. Okay. She's going to go celebrate. Here comes her dad. Now watch his hands. Watch his hand. Okay. And then watch him kiss her right on the lips. Okay. So let me show you that again. If I'm able to do so. Yes. She wins the match.
Where's she from?
Czech. She's Czech Republic. Okay. She says she won the match. She's going to the main draw.
It's a European culture. I was going to say the same thing. When I trained in New York, all the Russian dads, they were the same way with their daughters. If you watch in gymnastics, same thing. They do that. They give them a kiss on the lips. It is definitely a European culture. For most of us, it's creepy. Even the men, sometimes they kiss on the mouth.
Who?
So, you know, it's not like a lip, not like tongue and everything, Justin, but it is a culture. But there is a creepy side to that too, as well. Yes. Mm-hmm. Did I think it was inappropriate? I think in their culture, it's normal. So I don't think they thought it was creepy. For some of us, it might be just odd. You know, I don't think that I would like for you to do that to Gabby or Lily, you know, pat them that way. I would say no, you know.
Yeah, it's
I would say no, but I don't think he was doing it because it was a sexual thing. I just think that that's their culture. I've seen it so many times. You see in gymnastics all the time where the coach pats him on the butt and gives him a kiss on the lip, you know?
I agree with you. Who are we to say what's right and what's wrong? We're not judge or jury. However, we're at the U.S. Open, and we all know that anything that happens underneath the cameras at the U.S. Open is going to be dissected. Okay, I get it. It might be normal there, but it's not normal here, and you are here. So I'm not trying to say to deculturize anyone or anything, but understand that there are so many isms. There's so many gender-related things. There's so much feminism and all this stuff. That's all fine, but you know that's going to get dissected in the U.S. So it would be like me, for instance. And maybe this is a bad metaphor, but let's say that you smoke marijuana, okay? And let's say you live in a state in the U.S. where it's totally legal, Colorado, for example. Let's say you fly to Afghanistan. Are you going to do that there? Or are you going to say, hey, wait a minute, I'm in Afghanistan. I better not do that here.
We're in the most liberal country that you can think of. So I definitely don't think that ran through his mind. We are in the country where you can be anything you want to be, any gender you want to be, call yourself whatever you want to be, dress how you want to dress, pick whatever religion you like, you know, get vaccinated or not. I mean, I'm just saying, we're like in the most liberal possible country besides Amsterdam, which is not, you know.
I would love to go there, though, by the way.
So I definitely don't think that he really thought of that.
Have any of you ever been to Amsterdam?
My dad did. He didn't like it.
Then he worked there?
No, he had to stop there. He had a flight. He worked in Portugal, and he had a flight there, and he went out. He wanted to see, not his thing, so.
Yeah, for sure.
You know. But.
Anyway,
might be someone else's thing.
Yeah. Anyway, no big deal. But at the same point in time, we can't be shocked when we have media blowing up in the U.S. with the U.S. Open going on, and there's a 16-year-old girl, and for all everyone else knows that sees this type of thing, they don't know who it is, they don't know what their culture is, they're just see it, they judge it, and boom, it's everywhere, and that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Michael Walker said he's been to Amsterdam.
I would love to go. I think it's tough traveling internationally these days because who knows what's going to happen.
Gene says one of his aunt lives in Amsterdam.
Sweet. Let's go visit your aunt.
Justin. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You're thinking, I bet you for those people that's normal. They're like, what's the big deal? Why do people want to come here?
No.
You know? But you're like, ooh, I would go.
Well,
it's like Dominican Republic, right? It's funny because some Americans or other maybe people that are not used to that, you go to, you know, I'm sure in Europe, you go to the beach, the women are topless, right? And prostitution is legal.
Is it there for real?
It's legal. So I didn't know that when I moved there, and I asked people, I was like, why is it that on every town there's a, you know, a town line, you know, like the borderline, there's like little houses or something. They're like, those are the prostitution houses, which is legal. And even in the tourist area, they have certain hotels where it's just for prostitution. But the girls are not, they are very pretty girls, not garbage looking, but it's legal. So
I think they call that the.
But most people think that, you know, you're like, ooh, you know, you go to the beach, you're like, ooh, you know, but there it's just, you know, I remember covering Jonathan and Christopher's eyes all the time because you'd have a woman just
showing it.
Yeah.
Where was this?
On the beach.
I mean, what country?
Anywhere in Dominican Republic.
Okay, so
yeah,
I mean,
it's normal.
So you were like cover their eyes, like, hey, buddy.
Yeah, because one time they were staring, they were like, you know, they were like, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah,
maybe we should, you know, go visit some of those beaches.
There's some stuff you don't want to see. You're like, ooh.
Yeah, right. All right. First topic. Number one, we have talked a lot about who we think is going to win the U.S. Open, who on paper is going to do it. You know, Nadal, Djokovic, if he was playing, and blah, 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 blah. But if there was one player on the women's side or one player on the men's side that you wish would win it, even though you may think there's no way, they're not good enough, they never will win a major, hands down. But if there was a player that you would just wish would win a major because maybe they're a veteran or maybe they're a good person to you, or maybe you know them, whatever. If there's one person that you would wish would win this major or any major for that matter, who would that person be? And let us know. And Carla, who would you select?
I think you asked me this question earlier. I would say Kogova because I feel like she's worked hard and it'd be nice for her to have a slam.
Yeah.
You know, she has the game for it. We've had players like Raducanu who, well, my name is Carla Michael Walker. It's not Clara.
It's probably auto type.
You keep saying Clara.
It's probably talk text.
Okay, probably. You know, she would deserve it way more than Raducanu. So her, and then for the guys, Taylor Fritz, because I feel like he's worked really hard.
He's a father too.
Well, it has nothing to do with he's a father. He's, you know, he's worked hard.
How old is his son? How old
I know he had his son really, really young.
It's recently, right?
No, he had his son really young.
You know,
I'll find out.
Yeah, that's always nice when you have your son. We have 5 children, but it's always nice when they're around. When you know something, it's nice to have your children see you do well because it makes them want to do the same, right? By the way, speaking of kids, Justin, are you in there? Come here, buddy. So yesterday,
he was 19 when he had his child.
Yesterday, our youngest son, who is 6, played his second set ever. Come here, buddy. All right, we're gonna bring this kid up. Watch that drink.
Ooh, his hair's a mess.
Okay, so this young man right here,
today,
and the people are up there. So this young man yesterday, he has a really good friend, and his friend, his name is Miller, and Miller is a really fine young man, and they both push each other to get better. Miller's 7, he's 6. So Justin Jr. here has played 2 sets in his life, both to Miller. So last time they played twice. So just the other day they played, Miller beat him, and this next time Justin beat Miller. So Justin won his first set of his life. So let me ask you a question, buddy. Your good friend Miller, who's a really good young man, fine young man, did it feel good to win your first set ever? Did it feel good?
Yeah, I mean, stop.
Yeah, you being shy there, buddy? Huh?
He's not gonna answer.
How do you think you played? Do you think you played good? All right, well, that's his way of saying, yes, I'm glad I won my first set. And that's Gabriella over there. So Gabriella, by the way, has her first tournament coming up in November, right? So we'll wish her well in that. And I know we're going to have a chat with my dad, hopefully, about him not getting upset about her hitting a two-handed backhand.
Oh, well.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, well. Thank you, Carterry. Haven't seen you in a long time, but I've seen your pictures. You've been traveling or something. All right, stop looking at your hair. My daughter, she's all about fashion. She wakes up in the morning. She's like, she has this new thing where she takes her hair and she does this. And then she'll part it in the middle. And then I have to do like some special thing with her hair. And I'm like, oh my God. It's like, she's just 10.
Yeah. It's safe to say that Carla is not all about Miss Prissy's running around. You know,
but she's like,
she doesn't like it.
Tucks her shirt in. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess I'm gonna have to deal with this, you know, as she gets older.
Yeah, I think Carla usually lets like grandma handle that aspect of it because it's hard. I think isn't it hard for you to have either Lily or Gabriella try to be all?
No, I don't mind it. It's just the thing with me is not that I don't like it. My mother she was never there to like, you know, this is how you do your hair, this is how you do your makeup, this is how you dress. She was never there. She worked, you know, or she did her own thing. My dad was the one that was there. Do you really think my dad was going to say, hey, baby, this is how you do your hair, this is how you put your makeup, this is how you put your earrings?
Your dad, no.
No, exactly. So I was raised by a really tough dad who would say life is hard and this is what you're going to do. I never learned that part of life. So like when my girls, I see them doing these new hairstyles and stuff, I'm like, I don't understand it because I never had that. But they do it. I don't know how they learned it.
Well, they're girls.
I guess naturally, or they watch stuff, and I watch Lily with her hair. She'll do her braids here, and you know, I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. I'm learning with them.
I mean, you have to realize. So they go to school. So they
I think it's great. I think it's great that they're not like me, or that.
Lily's very much like you.
But she's girly too. She has that girly side about her.
So you have no girly side?
I do when I met you.
Are you sure about that?
I do.
Okay.
In certain areas.
All right. Well,
if I want to dress up nice, I do. Did I have any sisters? Growing up, it was my brother and I. He's 4 years younger than me. I took care of him. I always had to be tough.
Fine tennis player.
Always had to be tough. And I have sisters, but I wasn't raised with them. They could be my kids. Literally, they could be my kids. So my sisters, on the other hand, I look at their profiles and they're all like
shooting the lips out there.
And I have another sister that she's on Facebook or Instagram. She's like showing her booty. She'll take a picture of her working out at the gym. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I've never done that in my life. But all right.
Okay.
But yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Players that we think, or not that we think, players that we just wish they would, you know, maybe win a major, they deserve it, whatever, even though they won't. Here's a list of mine. I put Elise Cornet on there, veteran.
Oh yeah, I like her.
I put her there. Pliskova. I've always liked Pliskova. Besides a couple rants on the tennis court, for the most part, she's been a steadfast player. The only problem with Pliskova, she has one gear, kind of like Sabalenka, and that she just rips the ball, serves big, serve. And if you have a bad day at the office, you're going to miss with that tactic. There's not a lot of variety there, but nonetheless, I do like Pliskova. Taylor Fritz, you mentioned it already. What about Amanda Anisimova? Would you like to see her do really well? Her father.
I would love for her to win. That's another one. Absolutely, yes.
Amanda Anisimova.
Absolutely.
What about Cressy? And you know Cressy's not going to win a major, but he still has that vintage serve and volley game. So, you know what? Hey, why not? Bring serve and volley back to life, even though in a game these days it's very difficult to do so. Why is it difficult to do so? With the polyester strings, the high spin, the speed of the game, it's hard to get there and split step and be in the right position on time. Generally, if we're serving and volleying, a lot of times, if you've got a great returner like Djokovic or whatever, he's going to make you pay if you come in. He's going to see it and immediately flick the ball where you can't get it. So it's really hard to serve and volley these days, at least to go through the best of five these days in a major. Serving and volleying in 5 sets, taxing on the body. Beautiful to watch, beautiful to see. Anyway, what about Grigor Dimitrov? Would you like to see
No, not
Dimitrov maybe?
No.
I mean, he's not going to.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Felix Auger-Aliassime.
Yeah.
Musetti. Why do I say Musetti?
No, he's not.
He has the one-handed backhand.
That yet. No.
The one-handed backhand, and we have a topic about the one-handed backhand here in a moment. The one-handed backhand is a dying art, and we're going to talk about that and why here in a minute. What about Denis Shapovalov? I mentioned that as well.
Not quite deserving.
One-handed backhand. So he's a lefty one-hander, so even more tricky. Anyway, why is it more tricky for Shapovalov with a one-hander?
You always said because he jumps a lot.
Well, yes, he jumps a lot. So if I have the ball coming to me and my mind is focused on that point of impact, and my racket comes around, and right when I hit the ball, I lift, I tend to frame the ball. I tend to hit it off the lower part of the sweet spot. So it's important to stay down. Anyway, Shapovalov jumps a lot. But one of the most common patterns in the game is backhand to backhand, backhand to backhand. And it's most common that there's right-handed players. Well, how sweet of a world is it in if you are going forehand, if you're right-handed, to a left-handed player's backhand, which, in other words, if you're playing two right-handed people, you're going forehand to forehand, right? But it's a lefty, so the righty gets the forehand to the one-handed player's lefty, right? So that gives the right-handed player a forehand to forehand pattern that's advantageous, whereas usually the backhand is like, okay, who's going to give me the short ball? Who's going to miss? Who's going to hit the ball? Whatever, right? But Shapovalov is giving the right-handed player the ability to get into a cross-court forehand battle, and generally that one-handed backhand is going to break down. Plus, if you jump on top of that, not a good situation. Lastly, this is going to sound crazy, but Pablo Cuevas, why? Another one-handed backhand. Okay. That's the only reason why I put it in there. Veteran and so forth. All right.
I figured out my qualifier.
Who you got? Kuzmova?
Yeah, she's playing Sarivas Tormo, and she has a pretty good draw. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go with her. So, Gene, I'm going to send you my thing so you can put it in there, even though ours don't count.
Yes. And I can't wait for that. We do have a topic about one player that a lot of you are choosing. And don't forget, if you are playing the $700 cash giveaway, or if you are playing fantasy teams, there's a video on this playlist, and it says the 2022 U.S. Open $700 giveaway. All the rules are there, and you can put in your picks all the way up until the first ball is struck tomorrow morning. Okay. We already have some teams turned in, so good work. Okay, so we just mentioned a couple of players that I hope would, do well because they had a one-handed backhand. I play one-handed, right? We just talked about that. But why, now is the next topic, why is hitting the one-handed backhand getting lost in space, right? Why are we seeing less and less of it?
I think one-handed backhand players, back in the days, it worked. There wasn't as much power. The rackets weren't so advanced. The strings weren't as advanced. The balls, everything has changed. The surface a little bit, the way we hit, a little open stance. My father plays with a one-handed backhand. My brother does. But he has told me many, 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 many times. I know I told your mom. Huh?
Look who just popped up, Team Grows.
Oh, yeah, he's been watching us.
Well, he's a baller. He's a fantasy team guru.
Yeah. So my dad's told me many times, why are you teaching your children one-handed backhand? That is old school. That is old-fashioned. He's like, I don't care who told you that. You are not helping them out. Like, he's always told me, switch Lily's one-handed to two, and I've tried, but it just doesn't stick with her. Definitely doesn't stick with her. The two just looks awful. Whereas Gabby, I'm sorry, it clicked with her.
Yeah. And
she does much better at it. I don't care if your dad gets mad or whoever doesn't like it. The game has changed. We're not in the 1960s, 70s, 80s. We don't play with wooden rackets anymore. The ball's coming faster at you. The one-hander always gets picked on. Always gets picked on. Even when we watch these high-level matches, level 1 tournaments, these high school players that are at their state, the one-hander has a hard time. They can slice all day, but the two-hand is just natural. It's easier. You can hit open stands. You can switch at the last second and go cross-court if you want to. You can hit that beautiful down line. Not saying that the one-hander can't, but the two, they can do it. And they can slice too. I can slice just as good as a one-hander.
Yep.
When I play challenges, I hit one-handed. Big mistake. Big mistake for that coach to change that on me. I should have stuck to my two-hander. I would have won more because my two-handed is solid. Big mistake. You can hit the ball on the rise easier with a two-hand, whereas you don't have to like time it excellent. You can hit it late. You can hit your two-handed backhand late, and it still works. You can never volley with two hands, but you can short and hit from the baseline. There's a lot more pop. You can put your whole body into it, where this is mostly arm and one leg,
and your left arm helps you come around the ball.
Yeah, and in the return, you're there. You're like, boom. Well, you can't do that with a one-hander. And that's why
we end up chip slicing the return.
That's why I put the two on Gabby. And Justin is starting the two, and he can play with 1 and 2 if he wants. But I'm sorry, if you want to be the best of the best, if you want to have a chance, Lily's going to stick with the 1 because that's her thing.
Yeah.
And she's just going to have to practice it a million times until she becomes comfortable with it.
I agree.
But I'm sorry, the two-handed wins the battle.
Yeah, by the way, shout out to my mom. Anna Davis in the chat is my mom, and I saw Yin Hao Kaur said, "What's up?" Anyway, that's mom out there. So what's up, mom? And I'm sure my mom is happy that she asked me. My mom kept asking me, well, we always see Lily. Our 2 older boys are at the Air Force Academy. We never see the younger 2. So we got them, Mom. We got them in here. Okay, so let's talk about the one-handed backhand from my perspective for a moment. A, yes, it's beautiful. Or B, it's a dying thing. And C, you mentioned my dad for a moment. So my dad freaks out when any of our kids aren't hitting a one-handed backhand. He doesn't particularly care to watch the game at any level, whether it's pro or at a local tournament, whatever. If especially on the men's side, if they're not playing with the one-handed backhand. Now he is 84, respectively, still in great shape. Was at the club yesterday with us, coaching our 3 youngest ones. I'm going to choose my words carefully. So I am as equally as a big proponent of the one-hander. I play that way as anybody else. However, let's look at this a little bit more deeply. The one-handed backhand is tougher to learn, and I'm sure a lot of your answers, especially his, would be, well, just practice more. What are you going to sit on your damn couch and mess around and watch the idiot box, meaning television, or do you want to go out and practice? It's a little bit tougher to learn. That's not the main excuse, though. The problem is this day and age, you've got polyester textured string strung in the low 50s, even the mid 40s, that is bringing a whopping amount of spin, a whopping amount of power. And we just don't have the time to get that head up, hander down, and come all the way around it, especially on the return of serve. What happens is the one-hander ends up having to slice the ball. The reason why I'm really no good in doubles, right? And a lot of us one-handers will say the same thing. Let's use Federer. Why wasn't he any good in doubles? Well, if he played in the ad court, they would just serve it out wide and make him slice the ball into the court, which is very poachable on the other side of the net. So when you play doubles, you don't have that chip return down the line, because if you do that, the person at the net's going to say, "Bow!" Right? You're done. You're done for. Number 2, yes, my sister, who is a fine player, she passed away recently. I don't want to bring that up, but anyway, she was a fine player, a really, really, really good player. Sponsors, she had Niesel, she was a great player, and she had a two-handed backhand. So sometimes when we're working with Gabriella and Justin Jr., I think we lose track of the fact that she hit with 2 hands too.
Yeah, I don't get that.
So it's not really fair to throw us under the bus for that.
He obviously didn't think she could do the one-handed.
Well, no, there was a coach we had. I think his name was, I forget what his name was. Either Colin or Norm or whatever, but persuaded him for her to hit the 2.
But there's a good reason.
But she was successful with it.
She was small. Can you imagine her hitting a one-handed backhand at a right?
Yeah, I mean,
it would have been very tough for her.
Yeah, very much so. Okay. In doubles, especially for the one-handers, if you're playing someone with a powerful serve, it's hard to be compact and come right around. Tsitsipas even has trouble on the return, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to come all the way around, get the racket move you need with one hand, whereas if you have the 2, you can be here, just go here and there. It's much more compact, which helps out with the return of serve and many more shots. Now, why did Rafa Nadal slice and dice Roger Federer? Why? Because he hit heavy forehand top spins to Federer's backhand and served it out wide. And look, Roger Federer is arguably one of the greatest players of all time, right? Even he couldn't overcome it, right? So what I did is I wrote a list. And by the way, here's the first string giveaway right now. For any players out there, or if you just want a set of strings, if you know another player that would love some really nice strings, get ready for this question. Whoever answers this question first, I will send out a set of the YTech Strings 18 gauge Square X Shark, and it's a freaking beast string. Okay, so here's a question: name 5 men and 5 women in the top 100 in the world currently that hit with the one-handed backhand. And I already did the research. Okay, so I won't read that off at this point now. First person to answer, that's a player. You can answer it if you want. It doesn't matter. But the first person that's a player that said, you can answer it and just answer it, and you're not a player, you don't want the strings, that's fine. But the first player that says, yes, I'm a player, I'll take the strings, that looks that up, I looked it up in 5 minutes. But why is that? And none of them are at the top of the game, with except one of them in the top 5. I just gave away one answer, right? And when you're playing an attacking player, an aggressive player that's hitting the ball deep into the court and pushing you back, taking it off the rise is nearly impossible. So you end up slicing the ball, right? When you slice the ball all the time, you know, Barty was really good at the slice, but that singles, you didn't see Barty hanging there in the doubles, right? I mean, has Barty been very successful on the doubles court?
Did she play?
Well, one-handers have a tough time with doubles. For me in doubles, if I play the ad side, we're smoked. You know, we're smoked because I'm slicing the return every time, and the person in front of me at the net is poaching right into the middle, and if I take the line, it's a slice, so they're going to pound it. That's why us one-handers don't do too well in doubles. Now, maybe back in the day where everyone was one-handers, but the mindset of the one-handed backhand is fading because of that. There's not much you can practice. You can hit the one-handed backhand a million times throughout the year, every single day on the practice court. But there's nothing.
I did it for 8 hours.
There's nothing you can do to offset heavy top spin. That the ball's clearing the net by 10 feet. Wicked spin, bounces and pops right up. You can't take that on the rise. You can't get there, right? So much torque, boom, boom, and it kicks up. To get the timing on that is impossible to do it consistently.
The only thing I disagree with you, and I agree with him, is that I don't think because you're a one-handed player that you are bad in doubles. I just think that you don't know how to play doubles. I think that there's a lot of one-handers out there that can play doubles. The slice is a benefit, actually.
Okay, you tell me.
He named 2, McEnroe, Nevin, Silova.
5 and 5 for the strings, though. And I'm talking about now, though.
Play doubles?
LeBeau's out there. TM, Dimitrov, Musetti, Tsitsipas, Shapo. Okay, so team. He's right. LeBeau, let's go. Now give me the women, and then I'll send you the strings.
Team Groves says Steph, Dimitrov, Shapo, Tim, Musetti.
Okay, Team Groves and LeBeau. And look, again, Ivor is sending us multiple sets. So if you both can hit that, I'll happily send it to you. I'll pay shipping, whatever. Don't worry about it. I think we've sent stuff to both of them before. Maybe not Darren. Anyway.
You need to name 5 women.
5 women. Give me 5 women. Give me 5 women. And then I'll list them. Okay. Anyway, so the men, they've already put out the men out there. So I'll read you off the list of the men currently playing in the rankings. Stefanos Tsitsipas, 5 in the world, one-handed backhand. Grigor Dimitrov, one-handed backhand, number 19 in the world. Richard Gasquet, old school, 91 in the world. Wawrinka, old school, 288 in the world. Dominic Thiem, whatever, ranked 231 in the world. Denis Shapovalov, 21 in the world. Pablo Cuevas, 221 in the world. Musetti, 30 in the world. And don't forget Ludwig van Beethoven. I mean, not Beethoven, but Van Rithoorn. I was thinking about Beethoven. Van Rithoven hits a one-handed backhand at 119 in the world. Now, how many of these players outside of Wawrinka and TM have won a major? Where are
Wawrinka and TM?
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In the top 100, you have Tsitsipas, Shapovalov, no major. Dan Evans, no major. Dimitrov, no major. Musetti, no major. Lajovic, no major. Richard Gasquet, no major. And Altmaier, no major. And we're trying to tell ourselves.
Doesn't Feliciano Lopez have a one-hander?
But is he still playing?
Yeah.
And this is
no
the thing.
major.
When you're talking about kids doing it, I'll talk about Gabby for a second. Gabriella is really excited about her first tournament. She thinks she can win it. And I think she can. But she has no chance if she hits her one-handed backhand.
No chance.
She's going to play with the two-handed backhand, and that's it. She has to have the confidence early, and she has to be positive. So if someone's like chastising her, hit the one-handed or don't play, it's going to create a negative condition. We want to keep her positive. She uses the one-handed slice, and we'll work on that. But it would be, we would enter that tournament in vain.
I'm not doing the one-handed backhand. I don't care what anybody says.
It would be a disaster, and she gets sad when we make her hit it. We do make her practice it. She started with the one hand. She gets sad and upset, and we're not trying to make this 10-year-old little girl upset. So she's definitely going to play with the two. And then for Justin Jr., I was out there yesterday with him. He played the set against his good friend Miller. Love you, bro. And he has tennis parents, his mom, Katie and Jody, wonderful tennis folks. So two hands for him, I was serving the ball really hard. Boom, we were doing drills. And I want him to be experienced with the two-handed return now and the one-handed return. So, me, I put him back there. We're doing return of serve drills. So I put him in the back of the court over there. I had a whole basket of balls, and I was serving at like 80% energy. Pretty tough. Boom, boom. At first, he was swinging and missing, ducking, going right by him, right? But then what happened? He settled in, and he started returning them. He couldn't do it with the one, so we went to the two, and then I would serve it. And finally, after about 75 balls, he finally got the timing down with the two. Boom, it was returning a grown man serve at 6. He's 6 years old. Don't forget that, right? It's more advantageous. Has anyone named the women?
They're having a hard time.
Navarro, Golubic, Maria, that's all I can think of. Steph, Seti, Shapo, Dimitrov, okay. Look, here's what we're going to do. Team Groves, Darren, Gene, any one of you, if you guys want a set of strings, we'll send it out. I'll go ahead and read you the list. If you're going to use the strings, definitely just say yes, and then we'll communicate and send them to you. No problem. Ivor, the owner of YTech Strings, send them to us for that reason. Okay, here are the women. Current players, Carla Suarez Navarro.
She retired.
Semi-retired. I think she's still kind of hitting the ball around. Anyway, neither here nor there. Number 68 in the world currently, I think. I think she's 68 in the world now. That's what I read. Okay, Carla Suarez Navarro. Tatiana Maria, 93 in the world. Margarita Gasparan, 110 in the world. Victoria Golubic, 123 in the world. Mayo Hibi, the Japanese girl, 167 in the world. Perma Ozcan, Turkish, 211 in the world. Jessica Planchet, 225 in the world. Gabriela Talawa, 227 in the world. Katharina Gerlach, 238 in the world. Connie Perrin, the British girl, 255 in the world.
It makes me want to put 2 on Lily, but I think it's too late. She's gotten used to it, don't you think?
Well, she hacks her one-handed a lot. Maybe we should try it too. But Lily's already an established player. So anyway, I don't want to make my dad mad because I love him a lot. But this is one of those things that it just has to happen because they're not going to win anything and they're going to hate it. Okay, the next one, Kathinka von Dierkeman, number 277 in the world. Last one, 17-year-old British girl Diane Parry at 299 in the world. How many of these women currently on tour are within the top 50? None. So we can get our heads wrapped up in the past and we don't want to see the future change or whatever, but the one-handed backhand, like Michael Walker said a moment ago, died in the 70s and 80s. Look, I play with it. A lot of people at our club play with it, but we're not pro players. We're just run-of-the-mill players at a club. So think about that before, we try to tell ourselves that it's not dying, because it is. And ultimately, it's not because of the lack of wanting to practice. It's because of the speed of the game, right? It's physically less consistent to hit that ball. And if we are coaches, if we're players, and we actually want to win, you're going to hit the two-handed backhand, especially at a high-level match. Now, there's nothing wrong with slicing. I'm a slice expert. The only way I can beat Carla ever is to slice and dice. That's the only way. I have to hack the ball and slice forehands and backhands because she uses my pace. If I hit topspin, she makes me pay. Anyway, so that's the list. Darren, Team Groves, Gene, if you want strings, let me know. We'll send them out. Okay?
Yeah, for me, LeBeau, it's so hard with Lily because I feel like she's strong enough to do it, But I feel like she's just going to have to practice it over and over and over and over and over and over and just get comfortable with it. I really hate taking it away from her. The reason I did it with Gabby was because she was so young, and I felt like I watched her, and there's no way she could bring her racket around it. It was just so hard for her to do that. And once I put the two hands, on her. She immediately it clicked, and she was hitting consistently. For little Justin, I'm sure he could stick to the one-hander, but gosh, it's been a couple of years and he's still.
And he's 6.
And with the two-hand, it's just boom.
Yeah, yeah, and for sure. By the way, Darren LeBeau, that's in the chat, is really a fine tennis player. Really good, great positive energy. If there was someone, and he has an Instagram page where he does these trick shots. It's really quite nice. He has a daughter. Really fun. We love you a lot, man. We really enjoy your energy. But he's one-hander as well. He plays the one-handed way. What do you think, Darren?
Stick with what works. So far, the one-hander for her, I've tried to show her too, but it's just like it doesn't click for her. It's awful.
Yeah. By the way, Paul Lemon says he loves Justine Henon's style of play. I do as well. That's why she is pictured here. I agree with you totally.
He says also, or is Nadal going to play given his wife's condition? We talked about this, I think, on our last show.
Who, Kyrgios?
No, Nadal.
Oh.
We don't know what his wife's condition. We don't know if they exaggerated. I feel like if Nadal, the way he is, he would have been on a plane already if it was that serious,
Yeah, and you said Nadal wife. I wasn't thinking clear. I was trying to think of where I was going next, at least with the material. And we have a topic about this as well. But Nick Kyrgios has a sick mother, and I was thinking hospital. I was thinking Kyrgios and so forth. So Kyrgios, by the way, is Michael Walker out there? I'm sure he is. Mike Walker, thank you very much. So for this, so I'm not a big gambler at all. I really don't. I used to be like in college, and I lost my ass to the point where there was like going to be a physical harm if I didn't figure that out. Anyway, long story short, my mom helped me with that. I haven't really bet monetarily since, at least not like that. But Nick Kyrgios to start the U.S. Open was at first plus 2,500 odds, meaning if you bet $10, you'd win 25 grand if he won, right? The odds dropped, especially when Djokovic finally was not on the roster. The odds dropped down to plus 800, meaning if I bet $10 on Kyrgios and I was plus 10 and I bet $50, I'd win 500, right? So the odds now are plus 800. So I went ahead and I took the bet for $50 US for Nick Kyrgios to win the U.S. Open at plus 800. So correct me if I'm wrong. If I win, and if I win, I'm going to split it with Mike Walker because he placed the bet for me. But plus $50 on plus 800. Is that $40,000? Is that 40 grand? Someone let me know if my math's right. Is $50 times 800? Is that 40 grand? Is that right? Anyway, if I bet the 50. We need to pay Mike for that too.
Yeah, he needs to send me that request now.
Yeah. Anyway,
Dinghouse says correct. Van Lee said, "What is your record between you and Carla?"
She holds the edge.
I'll let him answer that. So.
She definitely holds the edge. I won my share. We both bageled one another. She's bageled me. I've bageled her. But the record is heavily in her favor. I would say that. And the problem with me is since I have my knee surgically repaired. If I run around too much, I start to limp.
I don't even like playing it with your knee messed up. I'm talking about before that. It's not fair.
Out of 20 matches, I probably won 5. If you gave 20, I'd probably win 5, maybe 7. But she's really good from the baseline. I like to get to the net. We talked about serve and volleying earlier, and I thought that I really wish Cressy would do well, but we know that he won't. I like to come to the net, but by the time I get there at 45 years old, with a bad knee, she's already passed me. So I don't feel comfortable hitting from the baseline. I just don't. I like to bring my opponent in, meet him in the face of the net, and battle it out up close. But it's hard to get forward these days, and she has really compact ground strokes. So it's tough to penetrate the short court when you're dealing with balls landing at your feet before you get there. But I would say if there was 20 matches, it would be 13-7. Fair enough? Okay. All right. Next topic. Roger Federer, as you all know, is one of my favorite players of all time, if not the favorite. Stefan Edberg up there as well. And you all as well know that I like shoes a lot. I'm a sneakerhead. I don't know if you know what that means, but part of my outside of tennis is I'm looking at shoes, and I'm getting shoes either for myself or I'm buying them to resell them. Roger Federer launches a 2-shoe package today. It's a lottery with the company On, and he is coming out with a 2-shoe release, and it's called the Roger Federer Squared. Whatever release, Roger Federer, the RF2. So it's an RF and 2. Now the launch comes in a box that has 2 drawers, kind of like when Jordans come out with the 2-shoe release. You get a top drawer and a bottom drawer. The RF release is a $550 release, and it comes out with 2 pairs of shoes. Now, if you do your research, his current On shoes, if you go to eBay and type in Roger Federer On tennis court shoes, something like that, and hit enter, you'll see just one shoe is retailing somewhere between $350, $400, depending, right? Now, there's a lottery that was in place, and I think the lottery entries have closed, where you can put your credit card information in, and you can hope that your name gets drawn. If you do, you get 2 pairs of shoes, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to show you a couple pictures of the shoes, and I want you to tell me if you would have interest in getting them, A. B, if you would buy them, and C, if you did buy them, would you keep them or would you resell them? Okay, so I'm going to show you the picture of these shoes. And I want you to also tell me if you think they're bland, if they're kind of drab, whether you think they're kind of, you know what I mean? Kind of like.
I thought it was kind of odd that they put him on clay when he's not a big clay player.
All right, so we'll show you some pictures. So here's Roger and the shoes. I know you can't see him very well here, but when I see Roger on red clay, I'm like, it's really not even a surface, even though I think in Switzerland he played on a lot of red clay as a boy. We've seen numerous videos with Federer hitting with a wooden racket on red clay courts when he was a boy, right? Let me see if I can get some better close-ups here. Okay, so there's 2 shoes. One is a mid, so one's not a high top, but it's not a low top. It's right in the middle. It's a mid. And there's a low top. One is a court shoe, and one is more of a casual wear sneaker. Got a signature on the side. Okay. Signature on the side of the shoe. So the one on your left is the low, and the one on the right is your mid. Okay, so here's a picture of the mid up close. Okay, can I get in there? Okay, here we go. I got a better picture over here. Here we go. So here's the mid. Just kind of plain to me, you know? It's like a Stan Smith, maybe. Do you guys remember Adidas Stan Smith? This is similar to a Stan Smith, but yet it doesn't have the green on the back of the heel of the shoe. So that's the mid. And I know it looks dirty. And look, Jordan does a lot of this stuff too. Like you can buy a pair of denim Jordan 4s.
He's smart though. He's gonna make a lot of money.
Okay.
We might think it's ugly and stuff. You know, I looked at it and I'm like, what the hell? But I told him, I said, you can invest in one, buy it and resell it.
Yeah. So, okay. So now here's the court shoe. Here's the court version. And I'll show you that one up close.
It's not a good looking shoe, but it's going to sell just because of who he is. So
can't get it clear.
I mean, just because of who he is, it's going to definitely sell.
All right, we'll go this way. Now, okay, so here's the court shoe.
I mean, I hate the fact that they dirty them, but
okay, so the sneakers aren't dirty in this release. They are made to look like they've been in red clay. So it's actually a scheme, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what I did is I entered the lottery. As much as I hated to do it, $550, that's a lot of money for us. But it didn't cost anything to enter it. You just had to put a credit card information and they would hold it. And then if you were selected, you would get the pair of shoes and they would charge you the $550 on your credit card.
I think it's a good investment if you get one.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a smart thing. I look at Rafa and Roger's shoes. Roger sells his shoes better. You look on eBay, they sell a lot more. Like his shoes sell for a lot more. You can make bank with those shoes.
You think so?
Yes.
And here is our entry lock. So entry received, you can see at the top, it just charged my card $1. And then if I get them, they charge it. And if not, they won't. That's a lot of money to spend on a shoe.
And the box was beautiful. I do like the way the box came out. And I think, well, that's a selling point, the way they put the tennis court and a little towel and blah, blah, blah. I thought that was pretty cool, you know?
Yeah, there was a video with him.
It's a pretty good setup, so you get a little extra stuff. I mean, it's definitely to sell. I would not wear his shoe. I mean, what's the name brand? Because that name
On. Isn't that name On?
I mean, I have tennis students that wear On, not tennis sneakers. running one, and they are expensive, and people love them, and they look like plain shoes. So Federer with on, yeah, I think it'll be good.
I had a video and I can't find it, man.
Paul Lemon says, do you think Federer will play one more Wimbledon? I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. And I wish I should have had this better prepared. I'm so sorry, but I had a video to show you. And I don't have it, but it showed a video of Federer pulling out the shoe and showing you the shoe. If I win it, I won't sell it right off, right? I mean, I'll keep it, let some time go by. But it's not really my type of shoe, but nonetheless, we entered it. So wish us luck. Okay. Next topic, kind of off the wall. We live in the state of Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alabama has made the news recently for kind of an odd reason. All right. So I'm going to read you a little bit of an article, and I want you to tell me if this is something that you would have no problem with, or if it's something that you would have a problem with. Oh, let me find it. We're like both looking at our phones.
If you look at what you get in the box, though, I mean, this is what you get, right? So it comes with this little tennis court. I mean, I think it's pretty cool, actually.
Yes.
I mean, that what you get there is pretty cool. I mean, the way it's set up, you get some shoelaces, you get the card, you get a little bag, and then the box is like a
Chester drawer.
Like a Chester drawer.
It out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
There's a video that you might be able to find it on YouTube. Look up Roger Federer RF2 release. Okay. Next topic, and hopefully she finds that, because that's a really well done video. Okay, the topic is this, and I'll show you. It's an actual article. Okay, actual article, and we'll give credit to the author. This comes from John Sharp. Anyway, the article is this: slutty, badass, whacked out wiener. Provocative business names stir debates in Alabama. So I'll read you some of this gentleman's writing here. Okay. Mark Clifford survived cancer. Then he opened the first whacked out wiener in Foley. Foley's a town just across the bay from us where we live. We've done videos riding the ferry over across where Foley is. Okay. Clifford said the hot dog chain started because of his wife's encouragement to follow my dream of opening a hot dog restaurant after a cancer diagnosis in 2014. 8 years after the first whacked out wiener opened in 2016, there are now 11 restaurants operating in 3 states. The secret of success, it can be attributed to an expansive hot dog menu featuring 40 toppings and provocative names that turns heads. Okay. Quote, whenever we first opened, you had a few people grumble over the name, says Clifford, but we had no controversy whatsoever. Once they found out what it actually means, patrons came in, they met us, and everything faded away. Okay. However, a recent rash of double entendre, whatever, cheeky or controversial business names is stirring a debate in Alabama, in the middle of Alabama's Bible Belt. Okay, no disrespect there. We're very faithful. Alabama is a conservative Protestant Christianity area of the country. The biggest controversy is in Orange Beach, Alabama. We were in Orange Beach for a fish show not long ago. There are a couple restaurants that have opened there with the following names. Okay, one, you have the Whacked Out Wiener, and their slogan is "Go get your wiener whacked at Whacked Out Wiener." Okay, okay. The next one is called Badass Coffee. Okay, and the next one is the Slutty Vegan. Now, vegan is someone that eats no dairy, no milk. So anyway, my question to you is do you have a problem with places opening up called the Slutty Vegan or the Whacked Out Wiener? Come get your wiener whacked at the Whacked Out Wiener, or things like Badass Coffee. Do you have a problem with that?
I don't have a problem.
I don't have a problem with that.
I could care less.
Good for them. Go for it. They ought to hear me coaching on the court when I'm teaching my kids. What the hell was that shit? Anyway, there's no problem with that. The people that are griping about this, I don't care what you're telling yourself. And here's this, a lot of people in Orange Beach don't want to have this because, they're in the Bible Belt. Are you telling me the people that are griping that you've never said the word shit, you've never said the word ass, you've never said the word slut in your entire life? Please. Number 2, good for them. If these people that are making these complaints, and I'm sure all of you do, have cell phones that you give your 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, that we see it all the time, to go, here, get out of my way, here, take the smartphone and go, lap up a bunch of bullshit, I can assure you every time they hit Google and they scroll through anything, whether it's a game, whether it's something with the chat, whether it's a video, whether it's a commercial, they're going to see way worse. So please with that. Please with that. It's ridiculous. Would any of you have a problem going to a restaurant called the Slutty Vegan? Would you? Would you be like, I'm not going to eat that because of the name? Grow up. So stupid. Anyway, good for them. Keep your names going and don't let people tear you down, right? Was that it with this page? I think so. Okay, next thing, and I'm going to get on some people here. This is going to be fun. All right, a lot of you for the fantasy team competitions have chosen the Argentinian player Francisco Cerundolo. Who? Huh?
Murray's going to beat him.
What? So I'm not going to say so many. I don't mean to exaggerate, but a lot of you have picked Francisco Cerundolo as your only 3-point player. By the way, Gene Swart out there, anyone can pick as many wild cards and qualifiers as they want. If they pick a whole team of wild cards and qualifiers, that's fine, but they'll only be 2 points apiece. Only one of those qualifiers or wild cards will be worth 3. If they want to do that, that's fine. I wouldn't agree with that tactic, but they can't. Pick a total of 9 players, 9 wild cards, or 9 whatever. They're all 2, and just one is going to be 3. Okay, let me tell you some facts about Cerundolo, who should be Raducanu's husband. Who? Okay, Francisco Cerundolo, okay, is playing an 11-time Grand Slam finalist and a 3-time Grand Slam champion in Andy Murray. Andy Murray's won 2 Wimbledons and 1 US. Just saying. Okay, I don't care about his hit. I do, but not for Cerundolo. Who? Okay, Cerundolo's career record on the ATP Tour at 24 years old, which isn't a spring chicken on the tennis tour, is 25-24. He has a 51% winning percentage. He's currently number 27 in the world, though. Hilarious. Oh my gosh, you got a 51% winning percentage. You've gone 25-24 lifetime. You're 27 in the world. Holy shit, is this a weak era? Okay. He is Cerundolo, who is 0-3 against little sawed-off chicken nugget Diego Schwartzman. 0-3. 0-3 against Schwartzman. Anyway, why is he number 27 in the world right now? What? Because he beat Rublev on clay and Hamburg. Oh, wait a minute. He beat Casper Ruud on clay at the Swedish Open. Wasn't that just after the French Open, by the way? Mm-hmm. Was the Swedish Open after the French? He just won the French, didn't he? Didn't Ruud win the French? Didn't Casper Ruud win the French Open?
Nadal did.
Did he play Ruud in the final?
Yes. Okay,
anyway. So he plays Ruud. Okay, that's hired Ruud. Okay. So he's 27 in the world. Why? I'm asking you why. Why in the hell did you pick Cerundolo to beat Murray? Because he's got a metal hip? Because he's old and washed up? Homeboy has won 3 majors and made it to 11 Grand Slam finals. Do you think that man is going to not do everything in his power, even if he has to limp off the court, to beat Cerundolo, who? Raducanu's future husband. Do you not think he's going to put tooth and nails into that match? Look, I think Murray...
And I think the New York crowd will root for Murray, too.
Get lost.
Yeah.
Stupid pick. Now, I'm probably going to eat my words in the next video if he wins. But look, Cerundolo, who? You risk your picks for money on that guy? I'm from San Francisco, and I wouldn't even pick Francisco. Stupid.
Cerundolo.
Who?
You probably never even heard of it. You looked it up, and you're like, oh, he's got a good record right now.
Dude.
I was even shocked when I saw his seating. I'm like, who is this? Who?
Next fact about Cerundolo, who? He has never passed...
We just made him famous because we're talking about him.
He has never, Francisco who has never passed the first round in a major ever. Oh. And he's never made the first round through qualifiers at the Australian Open.
Name the dummies that picked him.
You want me to tell you?
Who are the dummies that picked him? I'm dying to hear this.
Gene's got it in front of him.
Who are the dummies? Let's look at who are the dummies.
Go to comments on the video. And if you're going to play, make sure you go to the video and put your picks in there.
Let's call out these dummies.
Cerundolo, who? Huh?
I'm going to call you guys out.
Come on, man.
Let's see.
Stupid. But you know what? If Cerundolo wins, we look like fools.
Zest for life. Pick Cerundolo.
Let's go zest for life. You're not fully clean unless you're zest fully clean. Cerundolo's going to clean your clock on the fantasy team.
Let's see. Who else?
You got no shot.
Who else?
Okay. 11 Grand Slam major finals.
Gene,
you pick Cerundolo? Come on, bro. Gene can't change it after the show. Cannot. He gets paid anyway.
Oh man, I'm trying to see who else.
Cerundolo.
Who else picked Cerundolo?
Come on, man. No way. No shot.
Mm-hmm.
Cerundolo's going to get served breakfast. And if you look at Cerundolo, by the way, he never made it past the first round of any major and didn't even make the qualies, or excuse me, did not get through the second round of qualies
Murray's
at the
not
Australian
injured.
Open.
He's just just cramping.
It doesn't matter if he's injured or not. He's a sculpt. He's going to fight to the last breath like William Wallace. I'm Scots.
Yes.
I'm Scots. Man, these Scots, man, that's Darren
We
LeBeau.
want freedom.
That's Darren LeBeau. Their Scots aren't playing. He's going to play until he gets his heart cut out and held out to the crowd. Come on, man.
And look at Lando go.
He's going to Cerundolo who Marie's going to kill him. I'm telling you.
You know, these Argentinians, you know, they're kind of soft sometimes.
And by the
they're
way,
a little soft. Look at Del Potro.
Yeah, and by the way,
look at Schwartzman. They're soft. They cry a lot.
Yeah, and
their music.
Murray won the U.S. Open. I don't care how bad he's El Robato with the medal hit.
Oh,
Cerundolo,
I gotta see how Cerundolo looks. Cerundolo.
And wait a minute. Did not last year Andy Murray take Stefanos Tsitsipas into 5 sets at the U.S. Open? And you're talking about the number 5 player in the world. Now, granted, he has the one-handed backhand.
Oh no, man, he's gonna be Cerundolo. Look at that hair.
Oh, Gonzo.
Look at that hair.
Man, you have a better picture than that.
He's a little
Pull
soft.
that up.
He's a little soft. Look at him.
Your arms are so short, you can't. You just give me this one.
No, okay, I'm looking at a picture here. He looks soft.
All right, here's Cerundolo.
Man, he looks soft. Look at him. Oh,
so cute.
Look at his hair. Oh.
You're done, buddy. You're gonna get pounded.
Oh man, look at Cerundolo.
Cerundolo. Who?
Oh man, poor baby.
Yeah, you Cerundolo pickers. Don't change them now. Well, you can. That's up to you.
Oh.
The pick's locked when the first ball is struck, by the way, tomorrow. Okay, but good luck with that because Cerundolo.
Oh, you just picked him because he said Djokovic is not a villain, right, Gene? That's why.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Oh, I like Paul Lemon's comment here. We talked about this the other day, not on the show, but just in thought. Paul Lemon says, I thought it was hysterical that Roger Federer received more thunderous applause than Murray at the Wimbledon center court celebration. Yes, at that celebration, you remember when they had the players there? It was like the 100-year anniversary or whatever it was. The crowd erupted when Roger walked in the joint.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the reason why I went for that release for those on shoes. It $550 to us is means survival. Anyway, sometimes, but I felt like if I won the shoes, that if I held them for a while, never wear them, that they would be
especially in the box.
In the box, it would be well worth the investment. Actually, for once though, you actually talked me in to the shoes because I wrote on the paper I had no interest in them. I was like, too much, $550 for 2 pairs of shoes, white, no one's gonna want them. And so I had initially written that Carla wasn't gonna allow me to, but then I go down and show her while you're working out. Carla's downstairs working on the treadmill, and I'm like, Carla, look. And she was like, wow, that's a good investment. So here's my question. I invest in shoes all the time to buy and resell, and I never do that well. Mm-hmm. This is the first shoe you have ever said to get.
Yeah.
You think he'll do well?
Yes, I think because it's Roger Federer, man. He's James Bond. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vanley says, Carla, how would you date on tour if you were like in your mid-20s? Perennial, single, famous, boyfriend, coach.
That's a good question.
I don't know. I mean,
take questions. I'll be right back. Okay, take questions. You don't get sketched out when I'm here, right?
No, don't go, baby. I can't live without you.
I can't live.
You know, that's a tough question. I think it's tough for anybody to be alone in the tour, as a woman, as a guy. But I always have a saying that if you're a woman and you're serious about tennis and you want to be a champion, that you will not date. But I mean, let's be real. We're all gonna date. If I had a choice, I wouldn't say famous boyfriend because they would take me away from tennis. Definitely not. I probably wouldn't be single because I feel like everybody needs to be with someone and they need that support. So it would probably be a boyfriend / coach. I think the coach would have to be decent looking and not old, you know, like 20 years older than you. That's too much. He would have to be a good looking coach and a great coach. Probably. So I would go with that choice, boyfriend coach. Yes. Because I can hit with him. he would understand my pain. You know, he can talk me out of whatever, a slump. So definitely, I would choose that. Yeah.
You just described me, babe.
Paul Lemon says, in your opinion, guys, who are the best male and female players currently on the tour who have not won a singles Grand Slam title?
That's a good question.
I feel like on the men, in my opinion, I feel like Tsitsipas should have won a slam a long time ago.
Again,
He has the game for it.
But we run,
yes, we hate the way he acts, his little brat.
But we run into the one-handed backhand when facing heavy spin, especially from a left-hander.
But I feel like he should have won a slam already. Absolutely.
He's had his chances.
I feel like out of all the players, he should have already won one. For the women, who should have won one?
Hitchhiker.
What?
I just said what's up.
Oh, Patrick Morta. That's never won one. Probably Pliskova should have won one a long time ago.
It's another one.
Yeah, she should have won one a long time ago. She had the tools for it, not anymore.
I think we missed the whole 20-minute segment we had on the one-handed backhand. Mm-hmm. Again, I play one-handed. I love it. My dad the same way. But there's a reason why no one-handed backhand outside of Roger Federer has won a major in a long time. Roger Federer wasn't able to close the door with Djokovic and Nadal.
I just picked Tsitsipas, but Zverev is another one. Van Lee should have won a slam already. Should have had a slam.
His attitude takes care of him.
Should have won a slam for sure. I mean, yeah, I would have. I thought that maybe Zverev would have won one. Even though on the shows I always say he would not win one. You know. Look,
as much as I don't like Zverev, the puppy hater, the Lindell hating, the wife abuser or whatever. I think Zverev healthy, and hopefully he comes back from his ankle okay, or his ligament surgery. But I think Zverev is the best of these next gen people that we used to have to mess around with. The next gen to me is cheesy. Even saying that just sounds stupid. Mm-hmm. But I think Zverev is the better player of all of them, including Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas is yes. I'd love to see him win a major, but again, he's erratic. And why is he erratic? Because again, when he faces heavy spin, especially from a lefty player such as Nadal, that's getting the forehand to his backhand, it's going to break down. Ask Roger Federer. Roger Federer chipped his way, and Nadal owned him. And plain and simple, Djokovic owns him. Look at the head-to-head. They both have head-to-head leads over Federer, and a decisive head-to-head lead as Federer aged. So Federer, had some, consistent wins early on when Djokovic was like 18, 19. Nadal started capitalizing on him early. Nadal won the 2000. There was back-to-back Wimbledons they played in the final. Both epic finals. Federer won one, and then once Nadal won that Wimbledon, when it was getting dark there on center court. What's up there in LeBeau? But center court, it was getting dark. I forget what year. 09 maybe? Was it 09? 08? I forget. But it was at that point that Roger Federer's demise became. And here we are many, many years later, and we're still buying his shoes and still hoping he plays another Wimbledon. Federer at this point is like Serena Williams in a way. You love them. You want them to be there. You want them to be in the thick of it. But realistically, the chances of them doing well are slim to none. And barring, hopefully, that they don't get hurt. We think that tennis isn't that physical until you're a player. Ask Darren out there. We get to 45, like me, 44, I'll be 45 in November, and you're sprinting around and look, my mind tells me there's a Toby Keith song, I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was, right? Mm-hmm. In my mind, I want to go out and ball till I fall. I want to run every ball down and cram it, but the problem is when I do that, I end up limping. And there's the time and tide waits for no man, right? Time and tide waits for no man. There's nothing that we can hope and wish enough that will overcome the physical calamities of the body. Okay, Serena Williams, we love her. She's the GOAT. I hope she retires well. I just hope she doesn't retire with an injury. And same thing for Roger. They have nothing left to prove. So why do it? It's because our psyche, our psychology wants to keep us in the thick of it. And we tend to neglect the body. What happened, Carla, the last time I played a super competitive tennis match? The last super competitive, where I was grinding it out. I didn't care what happened. I was going to fight to the end. 100% effort. What happened that day, Carla? I ruptured my patellar tendon. Mm-hmm. I mentioned that to people about my knee. They're like, they just associate that with something like an ACL. Mm-hmm. Totally different, life-changing. I won't get into that. We had a whole playlist of getting through that injury. So if you want to see that, look there. But the body takes a beating in tennis. I know it looks aesthetic when you're watching it, but if you're playing it, it's a different story if you're playing at a high level. It's very physical, right? Yeah. Anyway, another one-handed backhand person that we have neglected to talk about, which deserves it, he has won the U.S. Open before, is Stanislav Wawrinka. Okay, Stanislav Wawrinka, I think, has finally at least begun to trend into more winning ways. Okay, I think he made it to the last 16 in the past 2 Masters 1000s. Is that correct? I think he played Rome and he played Madrid, and I think he made the last 16. In other words, the quarterfinals in both. Is that correct?
I don't know.
No, quarterfinals. That would be the round of 16, not the quarters. What are your thoughts, honestly, on Stanislav Wawrinka's chances at this U.S. Open? 0.
I mean, he's not the same player. He's not the same player he was before.
His first round matchup.
He looks a little pudgy to me as well. Like he needs to get into some time.
He's always had kind of a
no,
thick
he's always
abdomen.
a thick guy.
Thick guy, yeah.
He's always been a thick guy. He doesn't have that some, but I feel like he's a little thicker than usual.
Yeah, LeBeau, I'm gonna read his comment.
Kind of like Jack Sock thickish.
Yeah, I'm gonna read Darren LeBeau's comment. Preach, Justin, the same, bro. My mind says I am 25, but my body reminds me I'm 51. I'm programmed to run for everything. Recovery now is so tough. Exactly. And Darren, by the way, I do follow pretty much everything that you put out there. We love you a lot. You've got great energy. You remind me of me. We're close to the same age. We love the game. We try our best to wear the all white sometimes, and we do trick shots and ball out. That's me, bro. I wish somehow we can cross paths one day, except for, digitally.
Maybe we should go to Wimbledon.
Go to Wimbledon one day?
Meet up with him.
And his daughter. We got to meet his daughter, too.
He's got, I think, a son, too.
And can we teach your daughter a tennis lesson? Because I don't see her hitting balls.
She's like 18, isn't she?
We're going to teach her. We want to get her on the damn court.
Maybe he did teach her.
Get in her grill. Let's go.
I have a hard time believing LeBeau never showed his daughter.
I'm sure he did. Yeah. Did you ever teach your daughter?
And don't you have a son?
You have a nice game, too. Darren's classic out there. I'm like, ooh, look at Darren. Okay. Anyway, so what do you think about Wawrinka's chances for the tournament?
0. What's up, Ryan? What's up, man?
What's up? Ryan Mason just jumped in the chat. Ryan Mason.
No rain.
Ryan Mason's a solid
gymnast.
Ryan Mason's a very solid player, too. Very consistent and very tricky. I've played him twice. He's beat me both times. Right? You size him up like, no, I got this. I can outrun him, whatever. It doesn't work out that way. Good player.
Ryan is a smart player.
Good player.
Yeah, he's a smart. I'd rather have a smart player than someone that can whack the ball. That's it.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So LeBeau says, my daughter's a gymnast. My son, though, Logan, can play. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, make sure you let me know about the tournament, about your partner and stuff, or if you can find someone else.
Yeah, and don't forget, Ryan, we're having a Margarita Madness on Saturday, September the 17th at 5. Random tennis assignments, doubles, singles, however it works out. And don't forget, the Autumn Open is September 30th through August 2nd. We need to get Darren LeBeau to travel over. You can stay with us. I'll make you a deal, Darren. Deal right now. If you can get a flight here, I'll come pick you. We will come pick you up at the airport, whether it's New Orleans, whether it's Mobile, that will be the closest, or whether it's Pensacola, which is in Florida right here. If you get a ticket here, you don't have to spend anything else. And you can bring your daughter. You don't have to buy food. We got that. You don't have to get gas. We'll pick you up. You just got to get the ticket here, and we got you, and we'll bring you back to the airport. Open invite. Swear. Not freaking kidding. Am I right or wrong?
Oh, exactly. Yes.
Let's go. And we got plenty of room. We're right here on the water. Beautiful, beautiful place. You can enjoy some South Alabama sunsets right on the water. Okay, let's go, Darren. Let's make that happen, bro. Seriously, just get the plane tickets. That's it. You and your daughter. You don't have to worry about anything else. Food, nothing. Just the ticket, and we'll handle the rest. Seriously, kid you not. I mean that. Promise. Swear. I swear. I swear.
Ying Hao said if you had to pick
that goes for anybody.
Yeah. If you had
Yin Hao Kur. Yin Hao Kur out there and Mike Walker.
We might be watching a lot of Jurassic Park with Ying Hao.
I want Yin Hao Kur and Mike Walker up in here. Let's go.
Ying Hao said if you had to pick an active player versus a past player as a favorite matchup, what would it be? Example, Kyrgios versus Sampras.
That's a good one. Who asked that question?
Ying Hao.
That's a great question. Can we think for like 10 seconds on that one? I would like to see Edberg and Federer.
Yeah, that would have been a good match. Yeah.
I would like to see Boris Becker against Nick Kyrgios.
Did Djokovic ever play against Agassi? I think they did when he was younger.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send someone else a set of strings if you're going to play with them. If you can tell me if Novak Djokovic and Andre Agassi ever played one
Oh,
another.
he says I'm unvaccinated, bro. That is the deal if CDC changes traveling restrictions.
You can't even come by that? What if we write you an exception where it doesn't matter to us?
It doesn't matter.
That really is a problem? So, Gene, if you wanted to come
So, LeBeau, you think like us.
Wait a minute.
That's why we like you.
Is that true, bro? You can't come. Is that
That's
real?
right, LeBeau. It's your body, your choice. That's right.
McEnroe and Kyrgios, Hitchhiker. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Is that true though? So we can't have someone that we would consider, like family or whatever, come visit because of.
Justin, it's the rule. Djokovic could come to the U.S. Open.
So our doors are shut. The U.S. is shut to anyone internationally that hasn't decided to get vaccinated.
I guess I didn't know that.
Is that true, or is it? I don't know. I don't think that's true.
He's telling you. You don't know. You don't travel.
Well,
I know anybody that's from the United States.
That's mind-boggling.
They went to another country. They had to get vaccinated and show proof that they didn't have it.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to go in that direction here because, again, having the vaccination is like the three things that you never want to do, and that's to talk about race, religion, or politics. Sometimes sports, depending on where you are. In Alabama, here you got Alabama and Auburn, and if you proclaim that you like Alabama, the Auburn people want to just shoot you. And then if you could proclaim that you like Auburn, then the Alabama people. So it's a never-ending battle of nonsense. So ultimately, that's the same type thing here. So I don't want to get into it here, but are you serious? So
he's serious. You said it a million times. He's serious.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. What do you think Novak was not allowed to come?
That's nuts.
Maybe you weren't reading it?
All right, well, let's go vice versa then. Yeah, how about if we went to London? We can't go that real? Damn, like a prisoner.
We're in the same boat.
Jeez, it sounds like we're stuck on the same boat. You dumb.
Oh shit. Oh man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Paul. Paul Lemon's asking if nobody want to get vaccinated. That's his call. Agreed.
So we can't. So he says come to the UK. So do we have the same rules that way? Wait a minute. I got a problem with that. How does Boris Johnson, homeboy that gets jacked up at parties in the middle of? How is he gonna tell me I can't come in when your ass with no haircut, you were sticking out like this, walking into the airport like he just came out of the club, and he's like your prime minister. Well, I don't think he's anymore, but. How is it? No, I think UK should, lighten it up because Boris did not. Damn. I did like that. When I saw Boris Johnson.
We will come up there. I really want to go.
Where?
Yeah.
Where?
To the UK.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I would go immediately. But if it's a vaccination thing, we don't have that. We didn't do it either. Just telling you. You can hate me, unsubscribe, whatever. We have not done that.
I don't know if it's the same rules. I think it is.
I think we're all like-minded here. Go figure.
I'm laughing. Oh,
yeah.
Shoot.
And see, the reason that
so we'll be like from far away.
Bringing fake ID, fake vaccination card, go to jail. Hey, two people were sent to jail for fake vaccination cards.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that. And the reason why I never was is because I have a phobia of needles. Like if I see a needle, I get chill bumps and I get white and I pass out. I've never been able to give blood. I have tattoos, so go figure. But sometimes when I see this big long, I freak out and I get hot and clammy, and then my face turns white and then I pass out. It's even on my medical.
We'll send the kids.
Yeah, our kids are.
The two boys. I'll send them to you. Yeah, they could go say hi for us.
Yeah.
No, I definitely want to go there. That's like a trip. I told him, I said, I want to do a Grand Slam. I mean, I wanted to go to the US Open, but I would love to go to Wimbledon.
I'd rather go to Wimbledon.
Yeah, just because it's your favorite. And we could definitely meet up with TM Groves because he's there, and LeBeau, and whoever's there.
And also Jack Nolte's there.
Make it a big party. Why not?
Go, but we can't even get in. Can we get in?
The rules are gonna change. You know that.
They have to.
They're gonna change.
I mean, otherwise we're all living behind the vaccination wall, not the Berlin Wall, not the Great Wall of China. Walls go back thousands of years. You know, there's always walls to segregate people. I think Trump was wanting a wall, whatever. Anyway, now we've got this wall of vaccination, and it's kind of jacked up. You know?
LeBeau says, me and TM girls are British. We'd love for you guys to come to the UK. I would take you to a National Tennis Center.
But can we come?
Hampton, great facilities. I don't know.
Is it possible to come?
I don't know.
Can we?
Hitchhiker said, first it was 2 shots, then 3, and now 4. That's my point. And not until that gets figured out.
Yeah, and also too,
I think it's crazy.
I hate to bring this up because I don't know if he will like it or not. But my father's a physician, retired doctor, 84, was a flight surgeon in the Navy, and then retired this in private practice. Anyway, I think he actually took the shot as part of a test. But he has sent me multiple articles that the incidence of having terminal illnesses has jumped up a lot for those that took the vaccination. So
there's not a lot of young people.
There's a lot of people that have actually. I don't want to speak non-true. Dad, if you're out there, you can just put it in comments.
I mean, it's coming out. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but whatever.
A lot of people have been dying recently.
So it says LeBeau said in 2023, the CD will stop travel restrictions. Awesome.
Let's go.
Then we got to plan.
Okay, and vice versa. The U.S. is going to do it too.
We got to plan this. We got to plan. I would love to go over there.
Let's do it, man.
I would love to go.
We could do like a joint tour. We go there and you come here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I'm serious. You know, we talk a lot of shit, you know, on social media. You'd be like, hey, man, I'll come help. By the way, back when social media came out, it was like 2010. Has anyone ever heard of this African warlord named something Coney? Anyway, there was this big, huge thing in like 2010 on like Facebook and whatever the things were, where people were going to join together and all wear a same colored shirt for finding of this guy because of his bad deals with kid soldiers or whatever. So on Facebook in 2010, if you're old enough to remember this, I was in the car business then, so I remember. There was like millions of followers on this thread. And on this specific date in 2000, and maybe it was even 2008, 9, I don't remember. But anyway, it was a long time ago. Okay. Everyone was supposed to wear this certain colored shirt, like a pink shirt with, you know, Get Coney or something on it. And there was millions of followers with this thing. Like, I'll do it. Buy me the shirt. Give me da. And then here comes the date. How many people wore that shirt? 0. So what I'm saying is the problem with a lot of this social media shit and why we have always said that 5K is a family, because people say a lot, but they don't do shit.
We've had quite a few people have met us, so.
Yes, Ryan Mason out there. Ryan Mason out there, by the way, drove here and met us. It is
he didn't even tell us. He just showed up to the court.
Given that someone, you know, pretended they were a friend and then bailed on us when someone blamed him for something, Ryan has been there through thick and thin. Ryan is the only brother that I talk to. I don't have one other dude.
It's hard,
except here. I mean, like LeBeau, all you, Mike Walker.
It's hard to trust
Come on,
people,
man.
because always someone comes
always
up.
Come up with some bullshit.
Something always comes up, and you're like, geez,
yeah,
man. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, don't say it if you won't do it. We will happily come there. We have to figure out what to do with the 2 dogs and the 5 kids.
We will 3 kids. We don't have 5 kids.
But okay, we have 5, but 3 of them are here.
We will figure it out. We need a trip. We're gonna start looking.
Yeah, and we'll give you the food.
It's not like we have to stay at a 5-star place.
Well, no, how about this? We have room for them. They make room for us. Mm-hmm. And then we just buy the tickets. Granted, the food thing, we'll handle that there, but you guys don't have to buy food here because we are always cooking.
Definitely. Well, you know I have iPhone, so we can easily FaceTime.
Figure it out. Yeah, let's go, LeBeau, anytime, bro.
Yep.
Darren LeBeau, put Carla's number in. I don't know how much it costs you. Her cellular number, and Mike Walker knows it. Ryan Mason knows it. A lot of you know it. Gene Swore, any of you. It's area code 251. So Carla's number 251. Do it now. We'll put you on. Area code 251. So if you were in the U.S., you would dial 1 and then 251.
Well, you can do it. There's ways of doing it for
free.
Your
number.
But I put it there. There's ways to do it for free where they're not charging you. I think.
Yeah, her number, area code 251-404-0011. Okay. So he says it's coming. I guess. Maybe later. But yeah, we'll be happy to do it. But yeah, we would love to go internationally or anywhere, but vice versa, same thing coming this way. Mm-hmm. And you can come play. We can play on our clay courts at Mirror Lake. If we go there, then whatever, it doesn't matter. But we can definitely make it happen. Seriously. All right. That's all the material I got.
Yep.
Are you good? Anybody else have anything pressing out there? Wayne and Chia, what's up, bro? Nice to
When
see
she
you pop
always
out there.
coming in late,
So,
bro.
Wayne and
She always
Chia.
coming in late.
Well, it's probably
I
like,
haven't heard of you traveling too much lately, William Chia.
how's your mom?
You're always traveling, and I haven't heard you travel lately.
Hopefully your mom's good.
Mhm.
Okay. I think last time we saw
It's
his
been
mom.
a long time since he's traveled with his mom.
Where were they in? Like the Prague or
Japan, they went to,
were
right?
they Czech Republic or
No,
Serbia or
I
something?
don't think did they go. Did you go to Serbia?
I think you went Eastern Europe, didn't you? At one point, a couple years ago. Okay. That's it.
All right, guys.
That's it.
Adios. I promised to take the kids today to ice cream for Island Rainbow today because I never really do anything with them. So.
Yeah, come on, LeBeau. Come on, Mike Walker. Let's figure this out. You and how cool. Let's go. Wayne and Chia.
And Michael Walker's
Figure
easy.
this out,
He's
man.
in New York.
He's in New
That's
York,
easy.
man. You're right up the street.
That's
Not
easy.
really. It's like a 15-hour drive. I used to drive from here to Vermont.
Yeah, but that's much easier.
Vermont's like 20 hours. So New York's a little bit closer, like 4 hours closer. Because you can get from New York City to Vermont in like 4 hours. And we used to drive from Vermont here. And we would spend one night, I think, in West Virginia. So we would leave here in the morning. And then we would get to West Virginia at like 2 in the morning. So like 12 hours of driving. And then we would wake up in West Virginia at like 5 or 6 in the morning. And we would get to Vermont at like 10 o'clock at night. So I think that's about 20 hours driving, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's doable.
There's places where you can take, especially New York, like Spirit or something. It's like 50, 60. It's very cheap.
Yeah, and by the way, Darren LeBeau is kind of like my twin in a way. We're the same. We have the same energy, the same way. Yeah, LeBeau, come on, man. Mike Walker, let's go. You know, Cora, come on, man, let's go.
You don't drive past Philadelphia? You take a plane, right?
He's out there, yeah.
You take a plane after that. Yeah, I got you.
Come on, Mike.
All right, guys,
let's go.
don't forget to send in your pics to, whatever the video that we did.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow, matches start.
Yeah, the draws will lock at 7 a.m. So, throw in your teams. Why not,
All
You
right.
don't have to, but. All right, Gene Swart, thank you very much for everything. We love you, Gene. You're the man.
And I hope Tom Chi, you do your work.
He's
better
got-
do your work.
And look, I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there. Look, we pay, and I'm just being all things business, but we pay a couple of people to keep up with our scoring and stuff for the fantasy teams. But we never see Thomas Chi. We never do, like ever. So what I'm gonna do eventually, if we don't start seeing Thomas Chi interact, then we're gonna. Hey, we love you a lot. We hope you're well in school, but business is business. I'm gonna get rid of that one, and then I'll just double up Gene.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that. Then we send him. Then we take care of him
Mhm.
last time.
Mhm.
We love you, Gene, a lot. Thank you for the hard work. Business is business. No room for second place. Thomas Chi, show up or out. Okay?
All righty.
All right, bro. See ya.
Bye-bye.